Hello, 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 everybody. I am Stephanie D. Sanders, and yes, I am back with another episode of Movers and Shakers. Moving and shaking, movers and shakers. That's what they're doing. And I wanted to have someone on here that I have known for a couple years now. And he was actually, now that I think about it, I did like a little internship under him when I was going to school. He was the man, he was doing his thing, but I'll let him tell you more about himself. Now, let me introduce to you Mr. Mark Oliphant is in the building.
Stephanie, how you doing? My
I'm doing
friend.
good.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah, glad to be on your show here.
Thank you. I
Yeah, right.
appreciate it.
Okay.
But before I even met you, you were in college and I was
Right.
in college. I think you were probably in your senior year at the
Right.
time. And
Right.
I don't even know what I was, but all I know is I was looking for internships all over the place. And
hmm
I got in contact with you. I'm not sure how. Anyway, but I followed him around for a while, and then he kind of went on and did his thing in media relations. But how did you end up in media relations in college and then to where you are now? Let's just take them one at a time. Kind of a bit of a backstory into college.
Okay. Well, my I graduated from Morehouse College with a degree in media relations. Took my major classes over at CAU. I think we took classes over there. I can't remember.
Yes.
While you were at Morris Brown, I was at Morehouse.
Yes.
Um, and my first job out of Morehouse in my field was as editorial assistant for Upscale magazine, which I think I spent like a year or so, and then I went back to Morehouse, worked in the public relations office as a public information officer. I was there for like 3 years, and then I moved back to Augusta, where I worked in for a local weekly newspaper. It's folded now. It was called the Augusta Focus,
Mhm.
and also worked as associate producer for the ABC affiliate in Augusta, my hometown, of course, WJBF, and
Mhm.
then NBC affiliate, same position, NBC affiliate, WHET. And then I got into radio sales for an old school radio station. It was a new station at the time during the
Mhm.
late '90s. It was WKSP Kiss 96. And then I made my way back here to Atlanta in 2000. Yay!
Right.
I miss Atlanta. I got in the job also in my field in public relations. I was public relations manager for the governor's office of highway safety, where I was a part of the team that launched what we know now as a Click It or Ticket, the seatbelt
Oh
campaign.
wow. Okay.
I was part of that team and the Operation Zero Tolerance DUI countermeasure education and enforcement campaign. I was part of that as well and everything.
Man.
So since then, I've after after because some political maneuvers I won't go into that led me and about nine others to be laid off.
Oh man,
Yeah, that happens. Yeah,
it
I
happens.
decided to steer. I had enough under my belt to steer, and on my own as a contractor. So I had a lot of
There we go.
clients. I've done PR for individuals, entertainers, organizations. My fraternity, Omega Psi Phi fraternity,
Mhm.
right? And 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 the like, which I provided writing services, editorial services, speech making, and etc.
Yeah.
And also done some voiceover work as well.
See,
Since
it's just that creator side in
yeah,
you. And I don't feel bad now because it's
yeah,
like it's like so many hats just pop out. It's like you're wearing them all at the same time.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
don't
You
know
have to.
you just don't know how to separate them out and say, I'm gonna do this one this week. It's like whenever it hits you,
That's right.
that's when you move on.
That's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
this is so good because it lets me know, no, you're not alone. You're not
That's right.
alone, Stephanie. No.
No, no, you're not alone, my
But
friend. You're not alone.
how do you think that Morehouse actually shaped you into who you are right now as a person and then as an artist?
Uh, I would say they shaped me more in my formative years as a man, a young man, as far as life, how to approach life, lifelong friendships from people all over the country and different
Mm-hmm.
parts of the world that I'll always cherish. Not only at Morehouse, but also at Spelman, Clark, Atlanta, and Morris Brown, like
Morris
yourself.
Brown.
At great networking, people I could connect with for friendships, for business. I mean, you have it. You name it. Uh, I learned more. I great example. My freshman year, after I finished my freshman year at Morehouse, I went back to visit my high school. That's normally what we do after we graduate. When we get out of school, we get out
Mm-hmm.
of school before the teachers allowed me to come in and sit with class. And I remember specifically what I said. But one thing I remember saying to them is that I learned more in 1 year, my year at Morehouse, than
Mm.
I did my 4 years in high school.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
inside and outside of the classroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Morehouse readied me for life more than I could imagine. I was already in the Army Reserve as well while I was at Morehouse.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
so that kind of world experience kind of helped shape who I am as well.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah.
It really is, now that I think about it, an experience. One, to
Hmm.
just go to college, but then two, to go to a historically Black college.
Oh yes.
That
Yes.
thing there,
Nothing like it.
that thing
Nothing.
opened up my eyeballs, and
I
I'm
spent
like,
1 year. I don't knock anybody that choose to go to PWI. I mean, whatever floats your boat, whatever
yeah.
works for you, go right ahead. But for me, I realized how much value when I really discovered how much value a HBCU is when I had to sit out 1 year, which was supposed to be my senior year at Morehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and took transit class at a it's now Augusta University. It was Augusta College at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at that school, I didn't feel a personal bond with the professor or the administrators or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was just a social security number, just to be
Wow.
frankly honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe
Wow.
a lot of our people who experienced being at PW, I could say the same. That's why I recall meeting people who enrolled at Morehouse, Spelman, CAU, or Morris Brown, who were student as transit students
Mm-hmm.
for a semester, just to get they all said the same thing, just to get the Black college experience,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the culture,
Mm-hmm.
the bonding, just the atmosphere, the love.
Yeah, it was definitely all of that.
Yeah.
Even coming from where I'm at, we had quite a few of African
Hmm.
Americans in our area and everything like that, and even in
Hmm.
school and stuff like that. But when I came there, it was amazing, and I would say it was amazingly powerful
Yeah.
because it made me feel that much more reassured. I mean, there
Yeah.
were so many African American people and teachers and students and
That's
people
right.
in the city that were doing things, and I mean just doing major things from
Right.
what you majored in to sports to teaching and professors, and it was
Hmm.
just so powerful,
That's right.
to get that feeling and that sense of people really wanting to make a difference. And then the Black culture was huge. That was a major thing too for me to see there as well, because how passionate people were about the culture and everything like that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you just cannot experience that just
At all.
anywhere, you know.
Exactly.
But when you
Exactly.
go there, if you're looking to take stuff like that in and then really make it work for you, great
Indeed.
schools, great colleges to go to and get some wonderful experiences. But
And let's not forget homecoming.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Epic, epic,
all
epic.
of it.
I
All of
could
it.
it homecoming is one of those things I could show you better than I could tell you.
Oh my goodness. And that parade, that Morrisville
I've
parade
had
used to be
I
off
had
the
like
chain.
fraternity brothers, other Greek friends, whatnot, who attended PWIs. They experienced our homecoming one time, and they were envious. Is it? Damn, I wish I had gone to HBCU.
At least try it one year,
At least
summertime,
one
sunshine.
year.
Just 1 year. It would have just
Yeah,
made your world spin around. I mean,
tell me about it.
those homecomings and events, and oh my gosh, child, we would get
Yeah.
steak and potatoes for homecoming, and the
That's
parade was
right.
off the chain.
And
Oh my
then some.
gosh. And then the games, most of the time people didn't go for the games. It was just to see the
Yeah.
bands and competing and you watching other
The
people coming out there,
tailgating.
the
Yeah.
tailgating and the people
Yeah.
dressing and coming out like a
Yeah.
little fashion show. It
Dressed
was
to the nines. Oh, yeah.
it was just amazing. People to
Plenty to
take,
eat, plenty to drink.
yes, they take so much pride in what they did, what they wore, how they did
Oh,
their
yeah.
hair. The bands were just coming for blood. It
Oh, yeah.
didn't matter what school it was. We
Hmm.
coming for blood for each other, and it was just like a Florida classic for
Yeah.
us every single
Hmm.
time one of the schools had
Yeah, the
a
classics
homecoming.
too. Yeah.
Yes. Oh
All
my
the
gosh.
classics. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just
Yeah.
just a wealth
Epic.
of culture there at the schools and in the city itself. But then in talking
Hmm.
about what you did there at the school, how did media relations, the whole school vibe and all of that, how did you roll over into the acting scene after that? Or
Good
was it in there?
question. I'm glad you asked that. I started acting in Augusta when I had moved back home temporarily back in '95. After I worked at Morehouse, temporarily, I lived in Morehouse. I lived in Augusta for about 5 years, and while I was working at the TV stations I mentioned earlier, I started doing stage acting as a hobby.
Mm,
I befriended a legend in my mind, and in stage and film and TV. She was a legend in Augusta, and who had national renown as well. Her name was Maxine Barnett Nesbitt.
okay.
She I celebrate her this month at as Women's History Month
Mm,
because she led the way. She took me under the wing. I did a monologue that I just out the blue, no acting experience, whatever. Um, as a trip as a at my home church in Augusta, Georgia, Broadway Baptist Church, I was a scholarship recipient, and they asked all the former scholarship recipients to come back and speak. And I said, okay, I'm dealing with 18-year-olds. They don't want to be have no boring speech. Let me do
hmm
something different. So
hmm
I created a monologue. And they were
Wow.
kind of I was it was my home church at the time was very, very strict and traditional, whatnot. Um I gave the pastor a heads up what I was about to do. He was
hmm
nervous, but he trusted me. God bless his soul. He let me do his thing. And Maxine was in the audience. And she told my mother, who's now 89,
hmm
she asked mom about me and she wanted to meet me. And the rest is history. She produced a stage play while I was living in Augusta. It was a murder mystery play called House Without Windows. Where she was the lead actress and producer, uh, and Mr. J.C. Taylor, he was the dramaturge in residence at Payne College at the time. God bless his soul. He directed. He coached me and all the methods, whatnot. I mean, we rehearsed like every day after work from 5 to 8 sometimes 5 to 9. Oh,
Oh
he's
man.
drilling it, drilling it, drilling it, drilling it. Because in stage plays, whatever comes out comes out.
Yeah. There is
Yeah,
no
it's,
retakes.
it's it's no retakes, no
No.
do-overs, whatnot.
Mm-mm.
So I value that experience as awesome training ground because at the time it was acting was a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was an outlet because be frankly honest, having to leave Atlanta and go back to Augusta, I was bummed out. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
so that was therapeutic for me.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then when I came back to Atlanta, not long after I returned back to Atlanta in 2000, the film industry started burgeoning and started growing and
Oh
booming.
wow.
So there were opportunities to become a film extra or a
Mm-hmm.
film or background
Mm-hmm.
performer
Mm-hmm.
in films. And one of my first major ones that I signed up for was uh, The Fighting Temptations.
Mm-hmm.
I was in that movie. I was it's crazy. I was an inmate in one scene, and it was a scene where I met Angie Stone.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
If we
Wow.
had camera
Wow.
phones, we'd have took a picture together. So
Yes.
when she passed, when I heard she passed,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about Fighting Temptations.
Wow.
We were throwing dinner rolls at the choir,
Oh yes.
and one take, mine hit Angie Stone.
Oh, did you tell? I'm sorry, but that
She
was
was like,
mine.
I was like,
No, you
oh.
did. No, you did. Oh, no.
I went to her. I said, "Ma'am, it was me. I'm sorry."
I'm so sorry. That was my role. I'm
But
so sorry.
she was so sweet. She was so sweet. It was
Oh, I
awesome.
love that.
The
I
whole
love
cast
that.
was nice. Cuba Gooding Jr., Beyonce, that was her first major role.
Hmm.
Um, Mike Epps, he was cool as a
Oh,
fan, whatnot. Yeah. So that was a memorable experience, and I've done a number of films, too many to count, just as background
hmm.
extra before I started, moving up
Moving
into
up.
being
Yes.
as a stand-in. And for
Yes.
those who don't know what a stand-in is, someone who is height and skin tone proportion of the lead
Hmm.
actor, who are
Hmm.
used for camera rehearsals, lighting rehearsals for the actors. So
Hmm.
you do the same blocking movement of the scene. You watch the actors rehearse, and sometimes you're doing their lines during rehearsal to test the mic. Sometimes you don't.
Hmm.
So one of my biggest experience as a stand-in was on Tyler Perry's House of Pain
Hmm.
back in 2011, 2012. I was Curtis Payne's stand-in, LaVan
Oh.
Davis. Yeah. So I built some solid relationships with the cast and of course with Tyler Perry himself.
Hmm.
And a lot of episodes were directed by Kim Fields, who I credit as one of my acting coaches, former
Hmm.
acting coaches, and her mother Chip Fields. We called her Auntie Chip.
Hmm. I love
So
that.
so
Wonderful.
that was great experience. Others I did stand in for over the years were Ice Cube. I was his
Mm,
stand in three films. Let me see, Lottery Ticket, Ride Along One, and Barbershop Three. All
I could
all
see
three of
that.
those were filmed, and
I
and and
didn't think about that, but
and
I can see it.
and it's funny. I'm an inch, like I say, height proportion. I'm actually an inch taller than Ice Cube, so I had to
Wow.
wear
You
flats.
had to wear flat
I
flats.
had to wear flats.
Flat flats.
I had to wear flats or squat a little bit. Uh,
Look, we need this to be as
for
close
for the
as
camera, for
possible.
the camera, yeah, to set the cameras. But
Oh
I built a
man.
great relationship with Ice Cube and his manager,
Hmm.
Ron Muhammad. So if it was a film that was produced by Cube himself, I was requested because they
Oh
saw my work
man.
ethic, and
Yes,
I was
yes,
dependent. So that counts in this business. You build your relationship by your reputation. You're like my mom always taught me over the years, said, son, if you don't have anything else in life, all you got is your good name.
yes, yes.
So
And
you
it
have so
means a
protect it,
world of difference.
and yeah.
Yes. And
So
the work ethic and all that, it
mhm.
makes a difference. It makes a
So
difference.
fast forward a little bit. My first speaking role, which I earned. eligibility to join Screen Actors Guild
Hmm.
was Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse in 2012. I only had one line. I
Hmm.
wasn't on camera, but they used my voice, and that still counted.
Wow, man. You know,
So that still counted. So
I
I've been
auditioned for
Screen
something like
Actors.
that too. With one line.
Yeah, exactly. Because I beat out. See, when you do auditions and you win the role, you got to imagine how many people you beat out for
For
that
that
role.
one role. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes,
see,
that's
everybody
true.
and their mama trying to get a speaking role of Tyler Perry. They're gonna dream of it, but
Hmm.
who's gonna work for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows your discipline and your focus, your attitude, all
Hmm.
that counts.
Hmm.
All that comes with training. I tell people this is something you can't just jump in on off the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
What and not bring anything to the table.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then having that vibe to be able
Mhm.
to work with anybody
Yeah.
and
So
being able to adjust, with anybody, you
indeed,
know,
indeed,
because
indeed.
you'll get both. You'll get this and then you'll get that.
Hmm.
But,
Hmm. Hmm.
just being yourself but not being too over the top, because
Right.
sometimes some people think that, when you get on the set or when you get to an audition, you just running your mouth. And
Yeah.
I had one person tell me, when you go to an audition, close your mouth
Right.
and,
And
and
listen.
focus and
And
listen,
listen. Yeah. Two
and
ears, one mouth. Use it in that
yes,
proportion.
exactly. Now I tell anybody who sees me or whatever, I might give you a hug or whatever out front, but it's like, "Can I talk to you? Talk to you when we're done."
Right. Right.
Once I release that and I just leave my lungs on the floor or whatever, I needed to do to make sure I did that audition, then we can chit chat.
That's right. That's right.
So
So,
when did you think that you were actually going to get serious about the whole acting thing? What kind of made you want to really get serious though about it?
actually, believe it or not, I had dreams of doing this right after I graduated from college. See, my plan was I have relatives in in Southern Cali
Mm-hmm.
in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my plan was to go out to California for a while, find a job,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I could stay with my cousin. He's deceased now, but he offered me to stay with him and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
till I got on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I told him about my dreams. I said, well, come on to California, get your little job, and do your auditions, whatnot,
Yes.
and try it out. Because
Yeah.
he lived his whole life in California. I mean, in Los Angeles, he grew up in a time that you could be an extra or an audience member for
Mm-hmm.
Sanford and Son and be able to
Mm-hmm.
live off of it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? This man was doing that. The first
Uh-huh.
extra job that I did
Uh-huh.
was it an NBC? One of them
Mm-hmm.
in Burbank. This
Mm-hmm.
man was so well known as a
Yeah.
background actor. He he was not arrogant or nothing. He had a lawn chair, like the beach chair.
Yeah.
He had a beach chair that he came
Mm-hmm.
in. He sat in a certain spot. He had his little magazines. He rolled them up, put them in one cup, had the water in the other one, and it was like he does this every day, and people were
How
so
about that?
used to him. He ended up getting to eat with the crew, and
Mm-hmm.
all the rest of us, we ate together, but he
Right.
went with them when they left. So it was just
Right.
like, wow, wow. And
That's right.
that was his job. He said he was retired and that's what he did.
That's great.
I
Yeah.
was like, wow, wow.
But life happened. So moving to California didn't happen. So
Hmm.
so I ended up doing everything that I just mentioned earlier in my life. I got married in 2001, divorced 2009.
Hmm.
And but after my divorce, I went straight for the jugular with
Hmm.
my career. That's
Uh,
when I started.
yes.
Doors started opening for me
Hmm.
left and right. And so after and the fifth season of Fatal Attraction, so those were those were key.
Mm-hmm.
roles,
Mm-hmm.
and my recent co-starring role was on the third season of BMF Black Mafia Family on
Mm-hmm.
Stars,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
episode 7.
How'd you enjoy that?
Oh, that it was great. It was
Mafia
solid.
family.
Russell Hornsby, who played um, Charles Flannery, the father. He
Mm-hmm.
directed my episode, so working with him and working with the young lady who played Nicole Flannery, the baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
That we did a scene together, and that was a great experience. The crew was very nice, welcoming,
Mm-hmm.
accommodating, and everything. And I have two projects that's coming up. One I've both already filmed. I filmed last fall for a upcoming movie that's going to be on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm at liberty to say right now until it comes out.
Right? Until it comes out, right?
And a TV series that's coming on BT Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I just filmed it last week, as a matter of fact,
There we go.
and
Hot off the
I
presses.
it's gonna drop, I suppose, around summer, sometime this summer,
Uh-huh.
and that one TBA, to be announced to.
Right, right. See, people gotta understand that just because we do it and stuff, and I might pop out there, booked it, you know.
Right,
You
right.
can't
I'm
really
not
say
right.
anything until it kind of
And a
comes
lot
out
of
and
people
stuff.
that do when they get that first break, they go bonkers on social
Mm,
media. But well, I mean, I
I
understand
understand it,
excitement. I
yes.
get it. But when you sign a non-disclosure agreement, that means shh.
Yeah. Do you
Because
see it or somebody else see it?
you compromising the surprise element of and the value of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
but well, I tell people you don't see me posting about what I'm doing. That doesn't mean I'm not doing anything.
Not doing it. Exactly.
Right.
That's right. But I've been
So my
told that
policy
before.
is I post it out when it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now what else would you be looking forward to doing in your life, in your career? What else do you want to do?
All right. So what I aspire to do is, of course, my background's in public relations, journalism. What I want to do is, what I like to do is transition that into screenwriting.
Okay.
So I'm looking into some screenwriting classes to take, to hone my skills and mold it and shape it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can produce my own content and my own shows and hopefully
Hey.
my own films, because in this business people think the stars on TV are the ones that has the power. No, it's the people you don't see
Mm-hmm.
behind the camera
That's
who
true.
has the power.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
economic power.
Yes.
So that's where I aspire to do. I'll continue to pursue roles. I mean, I've done a lot of TV commercials, internet commercials as well for like Dodge Ram Truck, Church's Chicken. Let's see, Bud Light. Those-
I think I remember seeing that. Were you a referee?
Yeah. That was for the 2015
Was that the Super Bowl?
Gator, no, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl
Okay.
with Dale Earnhardt Jr. I shot
Yeah.
that back in 2014,
Yeah.
and that was 11 years ago. Wow, just yeah.
Time is moving, but
We filmed that up in Concord, North Carolina. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has his own studio, and
mhm.
it was it was ingenious that he created his own studio, because he gets a lot of oh, a humongous number of endorsement deals.
Mhm.
So he's like, well, I guess he was like, "Well, you got to use my studio.
Yeah, they keep me
You got
right
to
here
use
at
my
home.
studio." Right,
Come on
right,
in.
yeah,
You
right.
know, wow. Yeah, that would be a great idea if you're doing that much,
Yeah,
to keep
and
you from going all over the place.
exactly. So it was a great experience shooting up there because a good number of jobs I've had, if it wasn't here in Atlanta, it was up
Hmm.
in Charlotte and Concord, North Carolina area.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, this has been great, man. I have
Yeah.
loved catching up and letting the people know who you are because when they see you out there doing your thing, sitting in a little director's chair, looking all back like, hey,
Yeah.
it's coming. I love it. I love it. I love it. And
All
just
right.
to know you from that time up until now has been
Solid.
a joy. Been a joy. But
Okay.
tell the people how to get in contact with you if they're looking for you to be in their next project or to write some stuff and help them co-create some scripts. How can they
Sure.
reach you?
Sure. Uh, they can reach me through my website as MVOLIPHANT.com. I have a contact page on there. Social media, um, on Instagram, MV the actor, and on Facebook and on X, and on Twitter is M.V. Oliphant, Oliphant, and also on Facebook I have a fan page, actor M.V. Oliphant, Oliphant.
There we go.
All
Very
right.
nice and clear. We want to thank you so much, Mark, for joining us here on the show today.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
all
Steph.
that you do, all the things you did for me, enlightening me, all that
Oh,
stuff like that.
well,
So
Stephanie, it was a pleasure you having me on here. Thank you for thinking of me, and this has been a treat.
thank you. All right, y'all. Tune in the next time. I'm Stephanie D. Sanders over here with Movers and Shakers. See you
All
next
right.
time.